Hello, fellow open spokers. This is Ben Wilkoff, coming to you from the Google Glass. I've decided to start doing this on the dashboard itself so that I can look at the road while still talking and not have to hold anything in my hand. I can also gesticulate wildly and all those kinds of things. But I wanted to come to you with an idea, something that I realized that I was doing just today. And it is the idea that I have started to think in communities. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of different communities that I'm a part of, mostly on Google+, but other places. And I've started to think about all of the things that I am reading and viewing and sort of taking part in. I start to think about all of them as what is relevant to those individual communities. So if I read something about books and I find it really engaging, I'm not going to share it out to everybody. I'm going to specifically share it out to the librarians community. Or if I'm looking at something that is sort of specific to observation, right? Classroom observation, I'm going to share it with the peer observer community. And so the concept is that really the communities of practice that I'm engaging in are the ways in which I am thinking. And that's different for me. That's not sort of typical in the ways that I've sort of traditionally thought about content or ideas. Everything sort of for the past 7 years maybe has been, I'm reading something interesting, it goes out to everyone. Right? It goes out to sort of this wide group of people that are mostly anonymous. Whereas now, when I'm reading something or looking at something new, I'm actually thinking about, well, maybe this isn't relevant for everybody, but there are certain people who would find this important. And I almost think that that thinking in communities or thinking in groups or thinking in circles, however you want to talk about it, is new and better than what we were doing before. I mean, I think that it's around the idea of curation, like I'm curating things for certain groups and things like that, but it's different than that because I'm actually sort of saying this is the community of people that would find this powerful or important or relevant, and I want them to have it. I want them to be able to to use it and to sort of have a conversation around it. And that conversation might not be for everybody. But then what does that make me as a person who is doing that? I mean, I think it makes me, a community manager or tender of communities. But it also makes me think that there's something else going on here. When you think about your learning in terms of multiple different audiences, both sort of primary audiences, secondary audiences, if you think about your learning that way, how does it change your learning? When you're no longer thinking about a mass audience for learning, when you're thinking about individualized audiences, how does that change the nature of the way in which you are learning? And so to me, I guess that's the question I'd like to ask all of the open spokers is, if you are doing this, I guess, right? If you are sort of thinking in communities, how does that change the way in which we learn, the way we consume and create? So I guess that's the question. I know that I've put out to the vast majority of you that I'd like to start using Project Roundtable as a way of sort of organizing these ideas, but I also want to leave it open for sort of new questions, right? New questions that come about over the course of this year. If you have something that you want to throw out to the group and ask collaboratively, then do so. That's a part of this community of practice. And so thank you, open spokers, and I will probably talk to you soon.